Part 5. Fantasy, I Robbed Millions of Saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 41. The sect leader is back. Very good. Sect master, quickly lead us to the Qingyun Holy Land. Those old dogs moved a murderer from nowhere and took advantage of the situation. They have bullied us, and they want to steal our saint. Qingyun Holy Land can be destroyed, but this god of death actually fits the character of our demon sect, so it would be good to conquer it. Yes, although this guy is cruel, he is direct and rough. Unlike those guys in Qingyun Holy Land who claim to be righteous, they do something secretive and full of tricks. Feeling the arrival of the realm, a group of disciples from the Scarlet Demon sect were so excited that they almost jumped up. After being frustrated for a long time, I can finally feel proud. It's just, the words they said made the people of Qingyun Holy Land almost vomit blood collectively. Why? It's obviously this god of death who came to rob your red demon section. Not only do you not hate this god of death, but you actually find it to your liking? And we, as a group of innocent bystanders, have been scolded by you for a long time, and you want to destroy us? Today's matter really has nothing to do with us, okay? We are victims too. I've only been out for a few days, but it's so lively here. A very pleasant female voice, like a silver bell, suddenly sounded in the sky. Hearing this voice, the golden-winged Bat King, who was hundreds of feet in the air, stopped attacking, and then turned into the body of the demon soul elder. A pair of eyes looked towards the eastern sky. Qin Changsheng also followed the sound, and saw more than a dozen figures appearing in the east of the sky at some point. The first person was a plump woman wearing colorful rosy clothes. She looks to be in her 20s, with a little glow all over her body, a waterfall of black hair, a beautiful face, and a transcendent temperament. Of course, Qin Changsheng can be sure that she should be more than just in her 20s. Just because after cultivating to the Qi realm, and the body returned to its peak state, such effects appeared. The master of the Red Lian demon sect, Muruoxi. Qin Changsheng has heard this name many times, but this is the first time he has seen it. He really didn't expect that Muruoxi would be like this. Compared to Gu Qingxiu and Murongfei, Muruoxi's appearance was not weak at all. And as the leader of the Scarlet Lian demon sect, Qi realm a strong person. Her aloof aura and domineering aura are something Gu Qingxiu and Murongfei do not have at their age. Master, you are back. That's great. The disciple was almost taken away and bullied as a little slave girl. Master, you have to make the decision for me. I also want to snatch him over and make him my little manservant. Concubine Murong rushed directly in front of Muruoxi and said coquettishly and cutely. Qin Changsheng was speechless for a while. She is indeed a little witch, she is indeed an eccentric person with a changeable personality. She even shed tears just now with a full face. I want to kneel down for myself and recognize myself as my lord. When I saw the savior, I immediately became arrogant again. You actually want to rob me in turn? Oh? Is there such a thing? Muruoxi, the leader of the Qilian demon sect, smiled sweetly when she heard this. This smile obviously did not show anything deliberately, but it still had the feeling of making the world eclipse and turning all living beings upside down. This is the charm brought by her bones. In addition, after cultivating to the Qi realm, I have been able to come into contact with a trace of the Dao of heaven and earth, and the charm of Dao is embedded in every frown and smile, and the effect is even more extraordinary. Yeah. Even that bad guy, who didn't know how to cultivate, was already at the perfection of the Danyuan realm, and he was also carrying an innate destructive spirit body. The little witch Murongfei continued to point at Qin Changsheng and complain. Muruoxi's beautiful eyes swept towards Qin Changsheng. But the next moment, there was a hint of surprise in her beautiful eyes. It's you. Muruoxi said this. As soon as these words came out, everyone from the Qingyun Holy Land to the Scarlet Demon sect, including concubine Murong, were a little confused. The two of them, actually knew each other? Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 42. You know me. Qin Changshen was a little stunned when he heard Muruoxi's words. This must be the first time for him to meet the master of the Scarlet Demon section. How could she know him? Your name seems to be Qin Changshen, right? 2 years ago, I saw you outside Qingyang town at the foot of the mountain. At that time, you were being pulled into the Qinfen lineage by the Lord of Qinfen in Qingyun Holy Land. But, I remember that when the Lord of Qinfen tested you, there was no physical bloodline at all. How could he reach the perfection of the alchemy realm 2 years later? And there is also the number 1 among the 10 most powerful spirits, an innate destructive spirit. Muruoxi said in confusion. She is also confused now. But she is very sensitive to everyone's aura and will never admit her mistake. Qin Changshen also understood the reason after hearing the words of the Lord of Qin Peak. Daking is 2 years ago, when the Lord of Qinfen tried to win over her, she accidentally bumped into her. But Muruoxi must have been in the dark at that time, and she didn't notice it. Otherwise, she should have been impressed by such a stunning beauty with such a transcendent temperament. What? He is the disciple of the Qinfen lineage in Qingyun Holy Land? How can it be? I have also heard of this man. At that time, his bone age was tested at 17 years old, and he was in the 3rd level of flesh and blood realm. In other words, he is only 19 years old now. The 19-year-old Danyuan realm is complete? Impossible. I originally thought he was in his 30s, but he just looks young. The most terrifying thing is that the spirit body is innately destroyed. How could this thing be ignored? Although those old dogs in Qingyun Holy Land are treacherous, they are not stupid. Hearing the words of their sect master, a group of disciples of the Red Demon sect were all shocked beyond measure. It is really unbelievable that the alchemy realm is perfected at the age of 19. Master, he is really only 19 years old. Concubine Murong was at the side, her beautiful eyes were wide open, her face was full of shock and confusion. If she is about 30 years old and has perfected the alchemy realm, she just looks young, which is already an incredible talent. 19. The alchemy realm is perfected at the age of 10. This is the legendary monster who has been practicing since his mother's womb. But it's not right. This guy obviously only reached the 3rd level of flesh and blood 2 years ago. The 1st level is a chasm. In the middle, separated by dozens of natural chasms. Even the legendary evildoer's qualifications may not be able to cross so many natural chasms in 2 years. The bone age should be correct. Cultivation and physique, I can't say for sure. After all, there are some secret techniques that can be hidden and suppressed. Muruoxi responded to concubine Murong. When she said this, everyone was stunned. They really couldn't accept that Qin Changshen could reach the perfection of the alchemy realm from the 3rd level of the flesh and blood realm in 2 years. The only explanation, it should be that he suppressed his cultivation before and used some secret method to hide his physique. But even this explanation still made everyone's mood unable to calm down for a long time. In any case, the 19-year-old Danyuan realm is really too perfect. It's beyond their knowledge. Is the Lord of Qinfen okay now? Qingyun Holy Land, what does this mean? Muruoxi glanced at the people in Qingyun Holy Land, then her eyes stayed on Qin Changshen again, and asked. Over there in Qingyun Holy Land, a group of people were complaining. Why do everyone think that it is our Qingyun Holy Land's problem? The old man has returned to the west on a crane. Besides, what happened today has nothing to do with Qingyun Holy Land. I never formally worshipped Qingyun Holy Land. After the old man returned to the west on a crane, they wanted to occupy the Qinfen lineage. So, I robbed their saint and looted the Qingyun Holy Land. Then I discovered, This kind of thing is quite fun. I just came to visit your Scarlet Demon sect by the way, and prepared to let your saint become a companion with Saint King Yun. Qin Changsheng explained with a chuckle. When everyone in the Scarlet Lian Demon sect heard this, they were confused again. What? This guy didn't move from King Yun Holy Land. Isn't all this a conspiracy of King Yun Holy Land? What did he do before? What he said turned out to be true. Saint King Yun was the little maid he robbed. Even King Yun Holy Land was robbed by him. And everyone in King Yun Holy Land finally relaxed after hearing what Qin Changsheng said. Take a breath. God has mercy on us, King Yun Holy Land, we have finally been avenged. How many times have we taken the blame and been scolded so many times, it is really difficult for us. We are obviously the victims. However, great. His mother-in-law King Yun Holy Land was actually robbed, even the saint was snatched away by this god of death and made into a little maid. Let me just say, this guy is more in line with our demon sect's appetite. He did what our demon sect has always wanted to do but has never been able to do. Yes, yes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Since Qin Changsheng looted the King Yun Holy Land, he is a friend of our Red Lian demon section. We can forget about the past. After being frustrated for a day, I suddenly felt relieved when I heard that King Yun Holy Land had been looted. It's so damn exciting. The disciples of the Kilian demon sect said with high emotions one by one. Everyone in the King Yun Holy Land wants to die. The truth has been revealed, and we are also victims. Why are we the ones who are scolded? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 44. No way, this ruthless man can still resist in the realm of Ki realm powerhouses. The destruction spirit, the number one among the 10 most powerful spirits, is indeed very domineering. I don't know whether he is spiritual or not, I just know that this ruthless man is really fierce. Even if you face the strong ones in the Chi realm, you won't be afraid of them. Are you ruthless or stupid? We'll find out later. Stepping into the Chi realm is as difficult as climbing to the sky, but once you cross it, your lifespan will increase and your body will return to its peak. It is not an exaggeration to say that you are completely reborn. How can the Danyuan realm be able to compete with it? That's right, the alchemy realm is perfect, after all, it is still the alchemy realm, and there is a difference between the cloud and mud realm and the Chi realm. Sect Master, she hasn't really taken action yet. Although this ruthless man is full of loneliness and courage, he is still young and frivolous. Although Qin Changsheng inspired the innate destruction spirit body and dissolved Muruoxi's domain power. However, neither the people from King Yun Holy Land nor the people from Kilian demon sect still look down upon him. Chi realm and Danyuan realm, the gap between the two is really huge. To put it simply and crudely, a monk in the Danyuan realm is still just a mortal. And the Ki realm who has comprehended a hint of the great Dao of heaven and earth has experienced a transformation and truly embarked on a journey that defies the heavens. Road. Therefore, Qin Changsheng's challenge to Muruoxi, in the eyes of everyone, is tantamount to hitting an egg against a stone. The innate destruction of spiritual bodies is indeed worthy of its reputation. In mid-air, Muruoxi looked indifferent and chuckled when she saw Qin Changsheng neutralizing the power of his own domain. Obviously, she has absolute confidence. The domain power of the Chi realm is a bit unworthy of its name. Can we do something more serious? Qin Changsheng's faint voice also followed, and he didn't suffer any loss. Everyone, a black line. Muruoxi is a strong man in the Chi realm. He is so calm, he has his own confidence, and I'm still praising you. You, actually look so calm. Who gave you the courage? In addition, you still dislike others for not being strong enough in the field. You're not looking for death. Is it good to find it like this? However, what everyone never expected was, what Qin Changsheng said was really from his heart. Just now, he had signs of a breakthrough under the Demon Soul Elder's life sacrifice golden body art. But Muruoxi he suddenly came back and interrupted the Demon Soul Elder, which made Qin Changsheng depressed. Then he waited for Muruoxi to do something to him. It was just a small domain power, not enough. At the same time, Muruoxi's attribute information appeared in Qin Changsheng's mind. Name, Muruoxi. Bloodline, Lysinlia bloodline. Realm, Ki realm, first level of heaven. Combat skill, 8th rank combat skill, swinging Wu Guangshen technique, perfection, 9th level combat skill, demon flame towering, perfection, 9th level combat skill, love thousands, perfection. Looking at Muruoxi's attribute information, he had already thought about it. If Muruoxi if he doesn't use his strongest strength, he will call on her combat skills to challenge. If his thoughts are known to others, he will be shocked again. I have never seen a cross-level challenge, and she is so arrogant and arrogant. Roll call combat skills challenge? Do you think you are ordering food? Young man, you are indeed very interesting. Then I want to see if you can bear it this time. No matter how calm Muruoxi was, she still became angry after being so provoked by Qin Changsheng. With the thought, Muruoxi's domain suddenly shrank, isolating everyone on the ground. At the same time, the sky inside was cracked with cracks. Among those cracks, crimson sky fires fell from the sky one after another, as if they were raining fire. Not long after, the entire field was covered in red, filled with colored flames. The raging flames turned the entire field into a furnace of heaven and earth. Then these flames stacked on top of each other and condensed together, giving birth to ferocious beasts and birds of prey. Some were hundreds of feet tall, roaring shocking. Some have 3 heads and 6 legs, which are suspected to be the legendary 3 ancient demon gods. Some have wings on their backs. After unfolding, the wings are hundreds of feet long, covering the sky and the sun. It is the sect leader's 9th level combat skill, demon flames overwhelm the sky. That boy is bound to die. The demonic flames triggered by the sect leader will burn gold and stone immediately upon contact, and even some low-star spiritual weapons cannot stop it. That kid's body is worse than a spiritual weapon stone. That's right, even if he can withstand one wave, within the sect master's domain, the demonic flames are endless, coming over and over again, and they can even kill him from exhaustion. A disciple of the Kilian demon sect recognized Muruoxi's combat skills and started talking. As he spoke, the ferocious birds and beasts composed of demon flames were already flying in one direction in the field. That's where Qin Changsheng is. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 45. Welcome. Facing Muruoxi's devil flame, Qin Changsheng was full of fighting spirit. This is the moment he has been waiting for. With the thought, Guqin appeared in front of Qin Changsheng. This time, Qin Changsheng did not sit down, but stood proudly in the air with his hands on the strings. Having inspired the innate destructive spirit body, he now looked like an ancient immortal. With every movement of his hands and feet, the rhythm of the Tao flows, stimulating the energy of heaven and earth. Ding! The piano sounded, echoing between this world. Even with the isolation of Muruoxi's domain, when everyone below heard the sound of the piano, they all felt that the sea of souls in their Zifu spiritual platform trembled. Everyone was extremely shocked. This innately destructive spiritual body is actually so powerful? The power that can penetrate the Qi realm and the realm of the strong is simply not something that a person who is in the alchemy realm can exert. They were outside, and the sea of souls was shaking. In this field, How powerful will the sound of the piano be? Ding ding, dong dong. A dreamlike piano sound continued to sound, sometimes high-pitched, sometimes low, like a bloody war song. Qin Changshen's whole person has completely entered the state of selflessness. It was as if at this moment, he and the world were integrated into one. The sound of his piano is the sound of this world. One lotus flower after another condenses from the strings. It's different from Qin Changshen's random lotus flower that contained Taoist rhyme just now. This time, all the lotus bodies are condensed by Taoist rhyme, and then they are blessed with the destructive power of innate destruction of spiritual bodies. Ding ding ding. The sound of the piano continued. Tens of thousands of Daiyun lotus flowers appeared around Qin Changshen. Silks of Taoist rhyme sprinkled from these lotus petals. Wherever they passed, the ferocious birds and beasts composed of demonic flames all dissipated. At this moment, everyone involuntarily thought of something, the legendary ancient holy treasure, the pure world white lotus. Of course, this can't be the pure white lotus, it's just a shadow condensed by Qin Changshen's Daoyun. But even so, the power of this blossoming lotus is still beyond everyone's imagination. The demonic flames in the entire field were purified and dissolved at a speed visible to the naked eye. Not long after, the demonic flames that were said to be endless and recurring had all disappeared without a trace. How can it be? This is absolutely impossible. The sect leader is in the Qi realm, and the 9th grade combat skills he uses are several times more powerful than those used in the Danyuan realm. How could he be stronger than the sect leader? It is not a matter of realm, but the control of the way of heaven and earth. This innate destructive spiritual body can actually condense the Taoyun after being stimulated, and the Daoyun condensed is stronger than the sect master's Qi realm. This is too incredible. I finally know why this innate destructive spirit is ranked first among the top 10 most powerful spirits. This is simply a heaven-defying existence. He has a spiritual body, our sect master also has the power of blood. Hum. Yes, the power of the sect leader's bloodline has not yet been activated. Once activated, the combat power will also increase several times. Our sect master will win, absolutely. Everyone below saw that Qin Changshen had actually resolved Miruoxi's devil flame, and they couldn't accept it for a while. But the facts were before their eyes, but they had to admit that the innate destructive spirit body was really powerful. Unbelievable. However, the disciples of the Red Demon sect still have the greatest confidence in Miruoxi. Tao Yunning Guo. The innate destructive spirit body is stronger than I imagined. In the air, Miruoxi's beautiful face lost the indifference she had just now, and she spoke with a slightly more solemn tone. She was not worried that she would lose. She just didn't expect that this legendary innate destructive spirit can be so powerful. Obviously this little guy is at the perfect state of Danyuan realm. With the blessing of this destructive spirit body, he can perceive the condensed Taoist rhythm of heaven and earth, which is even stronger than his Qi realm. Well, I didn't expect this physique to be so strong. What a pity. Qin Changshen pressed the strings to stop the sound and said with a look of regret. He regretted it because he didn't succeed in breaking through. But it was impossible for him not to resist when Miruoxi attacked. That would not be a breakthrough, but waiting to die. The so-called breakthrough in battle is to stimulate one's own limits under the full strength of the battle. What should I do if my physique is too strong and I can never reach my limit? I am also very helpless. What Qin Changshen said just now was a casual remark, a true thought. But when hearing this sentence in other people's ears, it makes people crazy. I didn't expect that my physique is so strong. What a pity. Is this human language? Do you think your physique is too strong? How can you let those people who have no physical constitution, or whose physical constitution is very average, still live? Speaking sarcastically, it's not that cool. You get a bargain but still behave well. You are not the type to behave like this. It's obviously you who are fighting. Why do you feel that, watching your fight, we will be hurt internally first? This guy's mouth is really poisonous. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 46. Ding ding, dong dong. After Qin Changsheng said those words, the sound of the piano started playing again. Everyone was stunned. Muruoxi stopped, and this guy actually took the initiative to attack. The sound of the piano this time is completely different from the melody and style just now. If the song just played is a passionate and bloody war song, from the first note, it carries the indomitable momentum and unyielding courage. The sound of the piano this time is like a magnificent picture of mountains and rivers. At the beginning, it is dull and calm, allowing you to have no distracting thoughts and immerse yourself in the beauty of mountains and rivers. Suddenly, everyone seemed to actually see a world with beautiful scenery in Muruoxi's domain. The mountains and rivers are beautiful and majestic, and the rivers are winding like dragons. And this world is becoming more and more real. Even Muruoxi, the master of this field, seemed to be attracted by this scene. But just when everyone's hearts were extremely peaceful, a shocking sword light pierced the sky and cut down from the sky. All of a sudden, the mountain collapsed. The river is dry. The whole world is in pieces. Puff. 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 Below, I don't know how many people spurted out a mouthful of blood. Among them are disciples from the Qingyun Holy Land and disciples from the Scarlet Demon section. No, don't get immersed in it, it's an illusion. The 8th level combat skill magic sound enters the soul. This is the 8th grade combat skill demon sound entering the soul of Qinfan's lineage, but isn't this combat skill already incomplete? How could he have complete combat skills? With the blessing of the destruction spirit body, the power of this combat skill is not only that of the 8th level, but also the 9th level combat skill is not so powerful. How powerful is this god of death? We are outside the boundary of the sect master's domain, and we are all affected to the point of vomiting blood. What kind of power will the sect master within the domain face? I'm suddenly a little scared now. This god of murder is really too outrageous. If he cannot be won over, he must be eradicated, otherwise there will be endless troubles. The 2 disciples of the sect's Holy Land regained consciousness after vomiting blood. But they could not recover from the shock in their hearts. Some people just said that this guy's mouth is too poisonous. Look at his fighting ability. The anger caused internal injuries. Now it's better. I don't know how many people were directly injured internally. In mid-air, in the domain barrier, Muruoxi just entered the illusion amidst Qin Changshen's piano music. It wasn't until the moment when the shocking sword light appeared in her fantasy, that she felt something in her heart. She suddenly woke up and quickly used her Genkai to resist. Finally, she was not injured. But in Muruoxi's heart, the shock was stronger than anyone else. This is my own domain. This guy actually turned against the guest, took control of his own domain, and turned around to attack me. Even strong men who are also in the Qi realm cannot control other people's realms. Very good. Muruoxi said in a cold voice. The next moment, green light suddenly flashed around her. Suddenly, the whole world seemed to have lost its color. Only a small touch of tender green appeared in front of Muruoxi. It was a bud rooted in the void. In the beginning, it was only the size of a finger. Slowly growing, sprouting, and turning into a small willow tree. On the branches and buds of the willow tree, a little bit of Taoist charm circulates, and it is actually absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. With the absorption of the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, the willow tree slowly grew. In the blink of an eye, time flew by. It seems like 1,000 years have passed by in a flash. The willow tree has grown into a towering tree with several people embracing it. On the hanging willow branches, spiritual light flickers and shines. However, click. Purple thunder descended from the sky and struck hard on the willow tree, directly splitting it into a piece of charcoal. However, among the charcoal, another touch of green appeared. A brand new willow tree takes root, sprouts, and thrives again. It seems like another 1,000 years have passed. The willow tree is so green and towering. But the purple thunder also arrived as promised, just like that. I don't know how many 1,000 years have passed. Until the end, the willow tree that grows again is completely different. On the willow leaves of this willow tree, there are actually lines that make people sink in at a glance. Deo pattern. Wait until this time, when the purple thunder falls from the sky again. The willow tree did not turn into charcoal. Instead, the purple thunder was absorbed by the willow tree. The willow tree that absorbed the purple thunder turned the knife patterns on the willow leaves into purple, and the branches of the willow tree also turned into purple. In ancient times, there was a willow of the void, which was born with spirit, evolved for thousands of years, and was struck by lightning. Thousands of years later, thunder struck again, and the cycle started over and over again. 100,000 years later, he drank thunder into his body, faded away his mortal spirit, and became Thunderheart Willow. Lays inly a bloodline, not bad, seems to be quite strong. Qin Changshen's voice suddenly echoed in the void. The people below woke up again. That's right, they had just been brought into the illusion again. The only thing that made them happy was that this time the illusion did not, after exerting their power, they were interrupted by Qin Changshen. Otherwise, they didn't know how they would be affected. You woke up so quickly. Mid-air, Miruoxi's voice came. At this time, the power of her bloodline has been truly activated. A shadow of a towering willow tree hundreds of feet high and dozens of feet thick took root in her domain. Exactly the same as the willow tree in the illusion just now. Obviously, Miruoxi directly triggered the illusion attack when stimulating the power of blood. Wide awake? Sorry, I'm not confused at all, okay. I just thought it was interesting that your bloodline was actually a tree, so I took a look to see what was going on. Qin Changsheng said. Everyone below was speechless again. They are performing phantom attacks. What did you say that was interesting? Why don't you take it so seriously? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 47. Miruoxi was also very angry at Qin Changshen's words. I spent a long time to use the soul attack, but this guy was not confused. And he also said, is the power of my blood interesting? Do you think I was just showing you my bloodline? The more interesting thing is yet to come. With a scolding sound, Miruoxi was already preparing to attack again. Don't play any spiritual attacks with me, this thing is useless to me. Let's get practical. Qin Changshen's voice came again. When Miruoxi heard this, she became even more angry. This little guy is really arrogant to the extreme. But how did she know that Qin Changshen is feeling very uncomfortable now? Why? Why? Can't he break through? Is it because he accepted the old man's initiation and transmission of the exercises? The old man also told him at that time that although his cultivation level would be greatly improved after the initiation and transmission of the exercises, it would be like defeating the purpose. In the future, he wanted to improve the realm is very difficult. But at that time, Qin Changshen had been trapped in the third level of the flesh and blood realm for a long time. Let alone the Danyuan realm, it was hard to say whether he could enter the Meridian realm. How could he care so much? No one would be able to let it go. This is a chance to leap to the Danyuan realm. Moreover, without the starting point of the Danyuan realm, even if Qin Changsheng activated the system, he would not be able to have the current results. In addition, Qin Changsheng is now a person with a physique. Even if the initiation is passed on, the negative effects brought by Gong should be eliminated by such a powerful physique. The only explanation is that the pressure is not strong enough, and his limit has not been reached yet. Therefore, Qin Changsheng desperately hopes that Muruoxi can bring enough pressure to myself. Master, this guy seems to be immune to divine soul attacks. I stimulated the Fire Kylin bloodline and used the red practice Tongzin technique, but it was useless to him. Below, concubine Murong couldn't help but reminded Muruoxi. She had not forgotten that because of this, she almost suffered a big loss and was caught by that bad guy. After hearing this, Muruoxi also she didn't speak, but a sharp look flashed between her eyebrows. On her colorful rosy clothes, silk threads of Taoism were flowing, blending with the green and towering thunder heart willow behind her. Then, she disappeared completely in the original place. Earth. There is only one giant willow tree left in the entire domain, which is 100 feet high and looks like a mountain peak. A breeze blows by, seeming to bring infinite vitality. There are millions of willow branches swaying in the wind, fluttering, madly absorbing the aura of heaven and earth in the entire domain. Then, the huge willow tree grew again. One by one, the rhizomes, like long winding dragons, spread rapidly below the domain. The densely packed willow branches also seemed to spread infinitely, completely occupying the sky in the domain. Not long after, Lei Xinliu, which was already 1,000 feet in size, had merged with the entire domain barrier. Click. In the realm of heaven and earth, the sound of thunder and explosion suddenly came. In the sky, the purple lines on the densely packed willow branches and leaves all lit up. A purple thunderbolt as thick as the mouth of a bull struck Qin Changsheng fiercely. Welcome. Feeling the power of this purple thunder, Qin Changsheng was not afraid, but very excited. This is the pressure I want. No, the pressure seems not enough. I have to find a way to increase it myself. Thinking of this, Qin Changsheng put away his guqin, and his whole body turned into a thunderbolt, charging straight towards the purple thunder. It was the power of the sect master's bloodline and the power of the fusion domain that inspired the purple sky thunder. This thunder can overcome all demonic obstacles in the world and destroy all filth in the world. What? That guy actually rushed forward? Does he still want to resist the purple sky thunder with his body? Crazy, this guy must be crazy. Does he still want to compare himself to Willow of the Void? The Willow of the Void was bombarded into charcoal under the purple sky thunder, but it was necessary to forcibly leave a trace of life every time in order to cultivate the 100,000-year true body. This guy is too confident. When everyone watching the battle saw the purple thunder, combined with the previous illusion, they instantly understood what it was and the power of this thing. However, when everyone saw that Qin Changsheng faced the purple sky thunder, when he actually rushed forward, everyone was doubting life again. What kind of fighting method is this? Others avoid such things and use combat skills from a distance to resolve them. You'd better go directly to them. Rushing forward? I have seen people who are not afraid of death, but I have never seen someone who is so worried about longevity like you. No matter how everyone collapsed, Qin Changsheng in the field showed no intention of stopping. In the blink of an eye, the Zixiao thunderbolt was right in front of him. Ink-black flames of destruction erupted all over Qin Changsheng's body, and on the outer layer of the flames of destruction, there was another layer of holy Taoist rhyme flowing. One black and one white made Qin Changsheng look like a demon clad in holy light, very weird. With one punch, above the fist light, black flames of destruction exploded, and white Taoyun circulated. In that world, there was an illusion that space was collapsing. Boom, boom. The fist light and the purple sky thunder collided together. The three colors of black, white, and purple burst out completely, filling the entire area in an instant. Including the domain barrier, everyone was shaken by it. The people below were already circulating their true energy early to resist the remaining power. But even so, many low-level disciples in Qingyun Holy Land were so shocked that they vomited blood again. Although they were blocked by the Genkai shields of dozens of peak masters, they were still inferior to the mountain-protecting formation of the Scarlet Demon sect. By now, they regretted it to death. Why come to see the fun? It's better now, I can see that I have internal injuries, and I don't know how much blood I vomited. But even if they want to leave now, it's too late. The fighting range between Qin Changshen and Muruoxi spread for hundreds of miles. If it were not for the Genkai shields of dozens of peak masters, they would probably be shocked to death on their way back to Qingyun Holy Land. And those who suffered more than them, were the dozens of peak masters. In the Holy Land, just be brutally tortured by this ruthless man. I came to watch the fun and got affected, and I had to protect so many people. You must know that this guy knows how to start a war with Muruoxi, a strong man in the Qi realm. Even if we are beaten to death, we will not come. Rumble. In the field, a huge trembling sound echoed for a dozen breaths. When everything cleared up, Qin Changshen was still standing proudly in the air. Not to mention being injured, there was not even a trace of damage on his clothes. Not bad, a few more cruel ones. Qin Changshen looked into the sky and laughed loudly. Everyone had black lines on their heads and faces. More ruthless? I don't know if there are more ruthless attacks. But as a ruthless person, you are definitely what we have seen in our lifetime, the most ruthless one. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 48. As you wish. Hearing Qin Changshen's clamor, Muruoxi's cold voice echoed in the domain barrier. The next moment, the willow leaves in the sky flashed again, and the purple sky thunder condensed again. Not long after, the bucket-thick purple sky thunder was suspended in the air. And there was not just one, there were as many as 9. Everyone below was really completely collapsed, especially the low-level disciples of Qingyun Holy Land. It felt like the sky was dark and the earth was dark, the end of the world. The feeling. Many of them had already vomited blood after the blow just now. This time, even if there are more than a dozen peak masters infuriating shields, they will never be able to block the remaining power. Those dozens of peak masters will be more powerful. Needless to say, every one of them looked extremely ugly. Qingyun Holy Land is really experiencing constant disasters today. I cannot make it. I'm going to take shelter in the Red Lian Demon Sect's mountain protecting formation. I'll go too. I don't know who took the lead and rushed into the gate of the Scarlet Demon section. Haha, the little boys in Qingyun Holy Land are almost like lost dogs. Come in, come in. We are not hypocritical and pretentious like you, and we will not take advantage of others' danger. The main thing is that we don't have time to bully you now, otherwise we will teach you how to be a good person. In the Scarlet Demon sect, all the disciples laughed. But even so, many disciples from the Qingyun Holy Land still ran in. Preserving life is important. Dozens of peak masters really wanted to slap those disciples to death at this time. Shame on you, I left you at Grandma's house. Rumble. In the domain barrier, 9-barrel-thick Zixiao thunderbolts had already hit Qin Changshen head-on. This time, Qin Changshen still flew away and faced the 9 thunderbolts from the purple sky. But halfway through, the great sun sword had appeared in Qin Changshen's hand. Ding! A sword cry shook all directions. The sword light carrying endless destructive power soared into the sky and collided with the 9 bucket-thick purple sky thunders. Click, click. There was a sound of breaking gold and cracking stone. Everyone saw an extremely shocking picture. The purple sky thunder and the destroying sword light actually formed 2 absolute spaces. The space above, the purple thunder couldn't bombard it, and could only scatter in all directions. The sky was full of purple lightning, flying towards the domain barrier. The space below, the jet-black sword light was also suppressed and exploded directly, turning into thousands of sword shadows and flowing light, speeding rapidly within the domain barrier. At the center of these two attacks, a vacuum zone was formed. Qin Changsheng stood there with a long sword in his hand, purple sky thunder above his head, sword shadow flowing under his feet, just like an ancient god of war. This shocking picture was deeply imprinted in everyone's hearts. I don't know how many people felt an inexplicable feeling of surrender in their hearts. Including concubine Murong and Gu Qingxiu, looking at Qin Changsheng in mid-air, their beautiful faces were filled with shock and a hint of fear. From the bottom of their hearts, a thought occurred to them. This guy will not tolerate disobedience. If you really want to follow him in the future, you must be obedient and do not provoke this ruthless person. However, everyone soon discovered that they were shocked a little too early. Chilla, chilla. There were sounds of tearing. Muruoxi's domain barrier was actually torn apart by these two powerful attacks. What? The Lord's domain barrier was actually torn apart. God, this guy, is he so strong? Only two people with similar combat power can tear apart each other's domain barrier. He is obviously only at the Danyuan realm, but his combat power is on par with those of the Qi realm experts. The innate destruction of the spirit body must be because of the innate destruction of the spirit body. This physique is really overbearing. The people below, the eyes that were widened just now have not yet closed, but this time they are even wider and rounder. There are also countless people whose mouths have been open for a long time and cannot be closed. Not enough, still not enough. Is there anything stronger? In mid-air, Qin Changsheng stood with a sword and said loudly. That's right, he didn't break through. In other words, this is still not his limit. When everyone heard this, their hearts were numb and they didn't say anything. Brother, you fought so hard that you broke the realm of Qi realm. Isn't this enough? The last blow, if you can still take it, I will admit defeat. Muruoxi's voice came from the towering willow tree that was thousands of feet high in mid-air. But as soon as she finished speaking, the towering willow tree slowly dissipated. In the end, only thousands of green strips were left. The green willow branches slowly fell from the air. She looked like a stunning woman, with all the green hair falling. 9th grade combat skill, 3000 love threads. Thinking of the information about Muruoxi that he had read before, Qin Changsheng, I vaguely knew what kind of combat skill she was performing, but I didn't understand the power of this combat skill. Immortality. Just when Qin Changsheng was confused, a clear and sweet voice suddenly called his name. Looking around, Qin Changsheng saw that one of the willow branches had transformed into Muruoxi's appearance, with a plump figure and a beautiful face. She was looking at him with a smile, and her eyes were full of affection. You win. From now on, I, Muruoxi, will be yours, whether I am a wife, a concubine, or a slave. I, Muruoxi, have no complaints or regrets. Everyone below was dumbfounded one by one. What is going on? The leader of the Red Lian demon sect actually wanted to be that ruthless wife, concubine, or even slave girl. He hadn't even taken the final blow yet, so why did he do it? Lose woolen cloth? Humph, I said, the illusion of the soul is useless to me. Qin Changsheng snorted coldly and said. Hearing what Qin Changsheng said, everyone suddenly realized. It turned out to be an illusion. This turned out to be Muruoxi's final blow. And at this moment, another willow branch turned into Muruoxi again. But this Muruoxi was wearing a phoenix crown and a red embroidered hijab on her head, so her appearance was invisible. Husband, Ruoxi has had such a hard time waiting for you. The red hijab was gently lifted, revealing Muruoxi's beautiful face. She was already charming, but after putting on Fengguangxia clothes, she became even more beautiful, making people want to take her to her. He held him in his arms and showed affection to her. Again. Qin Changsheng said angrily. This is not the result I wanted at all. But soon, Qin Changsheng discovered something was wrong. This is not an illusion. The two Muruoxi in front of him turned out to be a living person. And an inexplicable sense of crisis flashed in Qin Changsheng's heart. This is the first time such a strong sense of crisis has appeared. And what no one noticed was, when Muruoxi performed 3,000 threads of love, concubine Murong below was so frightened that her face turned pale. Master, actually used this life-saving combat technique? 3,000 love threads. If you can't conquer him, commit yourself to him. It looks like a calm scene. But this is destined to be a dead end with no solution. Either, Master wins, Qin Changsheng dies. Or, Qin Changsheng wins, and Master will fall in love with him from now on, without any second thoughts. Even if Qin Changsheng asked her to commit suicide on the spot, she would not hesitate. Concubine Murong's whole body and soul were in chaos. Demonic monks are cruel to others as well as themselves. Many of them will practice a life-saving or life-saving combat skill, like the life-sacrificing golden body art of the demon soul elder. And the master's life-saving combat technique is this 3,000 love threads. It can only be used once in a lifetime. She never expected that this guy would force her master to use this life-saving combat technique. But the combat skills have already begun. Even if you want to save it, it's impossible. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 49. Husband, I want to spend the rest of my life with you in an ordinary way. Muruoxi, who was dressed in simple clothes but could not hide her beautiful face and looked like a good wife and loving mother, appeared. Senior brother Chang Sheng, look at the sword I just got. What do you think of this sword? Muruoxi, an eccentric little junior sister with hair tied high and full of youthful aura, appeared. Bad guy, haven't you always wanted to do evil to me? I will promise you tonight. Muruoxi, a charming little vixen who kept flirting with Qin Changsheng, appeared. 3,000 willow branches turned into 3,000 Muruoxi, all kinds of people with different personalities. All the figures, duly and moved lightly and walked towards Qin Changsheng step by step. Qin Changsheng was not dumbfounded yet. The people below were already dumbfounded. They also discovered that this was not an illusion. Every Muruoxi are all real. But, this is more shocking than the effect of the illusion. The master of the Red Lian demon sect turned into 3,000 faces. Each of them looked like they were devoted to Qin Changsheng and admired them endlessly. No man would be able to withstand this kind of temptation. But, just based on this, you still want to disturb my Taoist mind. Just kidding, I want to be the man who robs millions of saints. Qin Changsheng's voice came from mid-air. The people below could only hear it, almost stunned. Robbery of millions of saints? This ruthless man is not an ordinary ruthless person. And after saying this sentence after that, the great sun divine sword in Qin Changsheng's hand rose into the sky again and swept away Muruoxi one by one in front of him. Ah, husband, no. Muruoxi, who was dressed in phoenix crown and rosy clothes, said with a look of resentment on her face, weeping and complaining. Senior brother Chang Sheng, why do you want to kill me? The young junior sister Muruoxi, who was full of youth, left 2 lines of clear tears pitifully. Bad guy, you actually attacked me. The charming Muruoxi, before she died, was so alluring. But Qin Changsheng was not moved at all. The sense of crisis in his heart made him dare not be distracted at all. No matter whether it was an illusion or my true body, I will cut off the cause and effect with one sword. Shishi, shishi. Miruoxi, who had various postures one after another, was killed instantly by Qin Changshen's sword light. Until the end, no one of the 3,000 clones was spared. The rain of blood was flying all over the sky, and it didn't fall for a long time, until everyone below them forgot to breathe. This ruthless man is really capable of killing. It's over. Looking at the rain of blood in the sky, Qin Changshen cursed. However, the next moment, an unprecedented sense of crisis flashed through his heart. It was stronger than ever before. I saw that in the rain of blood in the sky, another Miruoxi appeared. No longer in various poses, Miruoxi returned to her most original state at this time, wearing a colorful rosy dress, with Taoist charm flowing endlessly. At this time, she was even more powerful than before. At that time, it climbed several times. With the wave of his hand, it seemed to have the power to destroy the world. Qin Changshen finally understood. Everything just now was indeed not an illusion. Every one of them was Miruoxi's 3,000 clones transformed by Kingxi. And with the destruction of these clones, Miruoxi's combat power also soared to the extreme. Without too many words, a green longsword appeared in Miruoxi's hand, and it was against kill Qin Changshen with one sword. Rumble. In the sword light, the rhythm of Tao is endless, the sun, moon and stars are circulating, and there is the cycle of birth and death of all things in the world. Chi-chi. Chi-chi. Wherever the sword light passed, a series of frightening spatial cracks appeared. It was clear that Qin Changshen hadn't been struck yet, but there was already a trace of blood spilling out of his mouth. This is what I've been waiting for, haha. With a trace of blood on the corner of his mouth, Qin Changshen laughed wildly. Then, his whole body of destruction spirit was stimulated to the limit. Ouch! Suddenly, everyone heard a dragon roar. Then, Qin Changshen transformed into a five-clawed divine dragon. All the true energy in his body condensed into a lifelike dragon body, with even the scales clearly visible. The flames of destruction turned into the breath of the dragon. The 9th grade combat skill, Unyielding Dragon Soul, was finally displayed by Qin Changshen. Buzz, buzz. The sword light that carried the sun, moon, and stars around, causing all things to rise and die, collided fiercely with the dragon of destruction transformed by Qin Changshen. There was no earth-shattering explosion. There is only a frozen scene, staying in mid-air. There is also a layer of Tao Yun visible to the naked eye, scattered from around the two people. Click. 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 After a few breaths, the ground in this world began to crack. One by one, the mountain peaks exploded directly from the inside and turned into a pile of powder. This was just the starting point. Centered on the place where Qin Changshen and Miruoxi fought, such explosion cracks quickly spread outward, a range of 10 miles, a range of 100 miles, and finally, a range of 1,000 miles, within 1,000 miles, except for outside the Qingyun Holy Land and the Scarlet Lian demon sect blessed by the Mountain Guard formation. There is no longer a mountain peak that is still standing, and there is no longer a complete piece of land. Thousands of miles of ruins were destroyed in one blow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 50. In the sky, all the illusions of glory dispersed. Qin Changshen and Miruoxi stood opposite each other. Qin Changshen was dressed in white, with blood hanging from the corners of his mouth, but a smile on his face. Miruoxi, who was dressed in colorful rosy clothes, looked a little pale even though she didn't appear to have any signs of injury. I lost. Miruoxi lightly opened her red lips and said 3 words. Everyone below was completely shocked. What? Sect leader, she, lost. How can it be? This ruthless man is so powerful that he is beyond imagination. There is a huge difference between the Danyuan realm and the Chi-Si realm. This guy actually reached the realm of perfection with the Danyuan realm, he resisted the Chi-Si realm and even won. To destroy the spirit body innately is really outrageous. In addition, the combat skills he just performed were obviously practiced in conjunction with the innate destructive spirit body, and the effect was doubled. Yes, that combat skill just now, how come I have never heard of it? Even if he transforms into a dragon, Holy Lord Qingyun doesn't have such powerful combat skills. Where are the people from Qingyun Holy Land, huh? The peak masters of Qingyun Holy Land have actually hid in our demon sect. Everyone below was shocked, and then they discovered something interesting. When Qin Changsheng and Miruoxi were facing off, even the peak masters of Qingyun Holy Land were afraid of being affected, so they hid. Arriving at the mountain gate of the Scarlet Demonic Sect. Now someone suddenly exposed. The dozens of peak masters only felt their old faces burning with pain. It was so embarrassing. But there was no way. Qin Changshen transformed into a dragon. At that moment, they really felt a strong crisis below and had to hide in. It's normal to lose to me, don't take it to heart. Qin Changshen waved his hand and said. When everyone heard this, they rolled their eyes. What does it mean to lose to you? But before everyone had time to sigh, a mysterious aura suddenly swept past everyone. Suddenly, everyone seemed to have heard the sound of Taoism, and then, a flower fell in the sky. Flowers of Taoyun slowly landed on Qin Changshen's head and blended into his body. Domain, why did the sect master open the domain barrier again? Wait a minute, this light golden one is not the domain enchantment of the sect leader. It's not the sect leaders, could it be, Tian, that guy has broken through to the Chi-Si realm. The flower of Daeyun descended, and the sound of the Dao burst out. Not only did this guy break through, he also caused a strange phenomenon in the world. I'm going crazy, the Daenyuan realm is so powerful and terrifying. After the breakthrough, isn't this guy going to be invincible? No wonder he kept clamoring for the sect master to attack harder, it turned out to be to stimulate his potential and make a breakthrough before the battle. This ruthless person is ruthless to others, but even more ruthless to himself. He is safe and sound. Isn't it good to use heavenly materials and earthly treasures to break through? Why rush? There were no sighs from the people below, but the sounds of shock could be heard. They never expected that Qin Changshen would choose to break through at this time. In mid-air, Qin Changshen closed his eyes tightly, feeling the changes in himself. The Chi-Si realm, the momentum is as majestic as the sea, and the true energy is as vast as the sea. At the moment of breakthrough, the space of his Ki-I Danshan increased more than 10 times than before, establishing a very mysterious connection with the outside world, directly opening a domain barrier with a radius of hundreds of miles. In this domain barrier, Qin Changshen's affinity for the avenue of heaven and earth is several times greater than outside. In addition, Qin Changshen's body is also undergoing radical changes. His lifespan has increased by 100 years, and his body has returned to its peak state. It's just that because he is young and possesses an innate destructive spirit body, he is already at his peak state, so the difference on the surface is not obvious. A vision has come from heaven. This is the proud man recognized by the great Dao, congratulations. Miruoxi's voice sounded in Qin Changshen's ears. This is all thanks to you. Qin Changshen chuckled. If Miruoxi's last blow hadn't finally stimulated Qin Changshen's ultimate potential, he probably wouldn't have been able to break through now. As for the recognition of the Great Avenue, the pride of heaven, etc., he doesn't care. Even if I don't agree. I will still plunder the saintess that I should rob, and I will still get the tenfold reward that I should get. What makes Qin Changshen a little confused is, he always feels that something is weird. Why does this Miruoxi seem to happen? What a change. Although she still had a cold and indifferent attitude towards him. but the way she looked at him was different from before. "I lost, what do you want to do with me, and the Chilean demon sect?" Miruoxi said again, with a very complicated look in her beautiful eyes. "What else can be done with this? I told you a long time ago, I'm here to rob. Now I declare that everything in your Redlian demon sect is mine. Hand over all your storage magic weapons, mountain protection array tokens, and treasure pavilion opening tokens to me. Well, just leave it to my little maid, Gu Qingxiu. Besides, where is your saint? What just happened is not over yet, come here and let me spank you." Qin Changshen waved his hand and gave arbitrary orders. Everyone looked shattered. "It's really a robbery. You are so angry at a strong sea-level person, why are you still obsessed with robbing?" But everyone only dared to slander in their hearts, not to mention replying, they didn't even dare to take a breath. They were clearly aware of the cruelty of this ruthless man. Putting all of these people together, I'm afraid it's not enough for him to kill alone. In a short time, everyone from the Chilean demon sect handed over a pile of stored magic weapons in front of Gu Qingxiu. They are very experienced in this aspect, so they did it neatly. But in previous experiences, they were always robbing others. Today it was them being robbed by others. Including Miruoxi, she also handed the Chilean demon sect's mountain protection array activation token to Qin Changshen along with his own stored magic weapons. As for concubine Murong, "Young master, he's here." Actually, in fact, didn't she just agree to be the young master's maid? "Young master, you are an adult and don't remember the faults of villains, so don't spank others, okay?" That's right, this little witch flew in front of Qin Changshen immediately. She gave Qin Changshen a flattering look, pinched her arms and rubbed her shoulders. She played the role of a little maid to the fullest. However, snapped. A crisp sound was inevitable. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 51. Oops, Master. People are begging you like this, but you still hit them, there. After being slapped by Qin Changshen, concubine Murong looked shy and pouted. It was more like being coquettish than angry, which made Qin Changshen couldn't help but secretly spit, "Little goblin." However, Qin Changshen had no intention of caring about this little goblin, because after that slap, the system information was refreshed in Qin Changshen's mind. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Master for plundering the saint of the Scarlet Demon sect and concubine Murong. The rewards are being calculated. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, Murong Fei, the saint of the Scarlet Demon sect, has reached the first level of the Danyuan realm. After gaining 10 times, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Lord, Murong Fei, the saint of the Scarlet Demon sect, has the bloodline of Fire Kylin. After 10 times the gain, she will give back to the Holy Lord. Diddy, congratulations to the Holy Master, the combat skills of Murong Fei, the saint of the Scarlet Demon sect, are the 6th level combat skills, the Chilean mind opening technique, peak, the 8th level combat skills, the Endless Red Sea, peak, and the 8th level combat skills. The first grade combat skill, the Fluttering Traceless Body Technique, perfection, the 9th grade combat skill, the Demonic Flames Monstrous to the Sky, small success. After 10 times the gain, give back to the Holy Lord. As the system information appeared, the surrounding time and space seemed to have stopped. Only Qin Changshen's body was changing rapidly. He could clearly feel that his Qi Hai Danshan was a bit stronger than before, and his true energy was even more powerful. There are also various combat skills that are constantly being deduced in his mind, as if there are countless clones, practicing rapidly year after year in many parallel spaces. But Qin Changshen feels the most clearly. It's his own blood. the originally ordinary blood seemed to have suddenly been fused with a very powerful and domineering element. Even the color of the blood has turned into a light golden yellow. Needless to say, this should be the transformation of the bloodline. Sure enough, as Qin Changsheng had expected, this bloodline, like the physique, can also be obtained and enhanced by plundering the saint. I just don't know what kind of feedback I will get after the fire unicorn bloodline is increased tenfold. With this in mind, Qin Changsheng opened his attribute panel. Holy Master, Qin Changsheng. Age, 19. Physique, innately destroyed spiritual body. Bloodline, Holy Kailan bloodline. Realm, Ki realm, 2 heavens. Combat skills, 9th level combat skill war song, perfection, 9th level combat skill dragon walking 10,000 miles body technique, perfection, 9th level combat skill voice of the great Dao, perfection, super level combat skill destruction sword dharma, perfection, the superb combat skill Kailan Dao, perfection. In terms of realm, Qin Changsheng has just stepped into the Qi realm and directly arrived at the 2nd level of the Qi realm. It doesn't look like much improvement, but this already makes Qin Changsheng very satisfied. After entering the Qi realm, it is very difficult to improve the realm. I don't know how many people may not be able to break through to the 1st level after practicing for more than 10 or even decades. And Qin Changsheng didn't do anything and directly broke through the 1st level of the sky. If other Qi realm powerhouses knew about it, they would probably be envious to death. In addition, Qin Changsheng also had the bloodline that he had longed for. Holy Kailan bloodline. Qin Changsheng has not yet intuitively felt how powerful this bloodline is. However, he knew very well that this Holy Kailan bloodline should be 10 times stronger than Concubine Murong's Fire Kailan bloodline. Concubine Murong's Fire Unicorn bloodline was already an extremely rare bloodline of a divine beast. One can imagine the strength of the Saint Kailan's bloodline. Finally, its combat skills. At first glance, Qin Changsheng felt a little dazzled. They are all densely packed with 9th grade combat skills, and they are all in the realm of perfection. Even the body and combat skills are all 9th level dragon traveling 10,000 miles body technique. This is a good thing that neither Scarlet Demon Sect nor Qingyun Holy Land has. Taking a closer look, Qin Changsheng discovered 2 extraordinary combat skills. The super grade combat skill Destruction Sword Technique, perfection, the super grade combat skill Kailan Dao, perfection. Super combat skills? There is such a thing. Needless to say, this must be an existence above the 9th level. Previously, Qin Changsheng didn't have much judgment on the effectiveness of combat skills. But the battle with Muruoxi just now made Qin Changsheng realize that combat skills are really amazing. With the same level of cultivation, there is a fatal difference in the strength of combat skills. In this regard, the system is still very powerful and user-friendly. The combat skills given every time are the most suitable and the best. Just like the previous 9th grade combat skill Unyielding Dragon Soul, it is a combat skill that is extremely compatible with Qin Changsheng's innate destructive spirit body. After being used, the combat power far exceeds other 9th grade combat skills. Otherwise, it is really not certain whether Qin Changsheng can defeat Muruoxi. But this time, the 2 super grade combat skills given by the system are obviously very humane. Destruction Sword Technique and the innate destruction spirit body are compatible with each other. Kailan Asked and the bloodline of Saint Kailan are compatible with each other. Qin Changsheng is looking forward to what kind of surprises these 2 super combat skills will bring to him.